What is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a quick video here in regards to the level 100 that's coming, but as well, I want to take this time to analyze and preview what it could be potentially costing us. So guys, get ready to unpack this information and the analysis. So first and foremost, if you haven't already, this is what was released on the latest blog post in regards to the level 100 cap that's coming. As you can see, confirmed here, January 22nd at 1 p.m. Pacific time. There's going to be an opportunity finally to increase that cap. There's going to be some events ongoing as well. Currently, we have the XP throttle, which gives anybody commander level, I believe, above level 65 to essentially catch up to level 95 with a double EXP, logging in for rewards as well, and so forth. But guys, how much is this going to cost us? You know, we need to be aware of this because of the fact that we want to be saving gold, but at the same time too, this is going to be that extra elevation now that we can add to our, arena teams, to our raid teams that make it even easier. Cosmic Crucible, War, all across the board. So we need to understand potentially how this cost is going to be, but in order to understand that, we need to take a look at how the previous level caps have been. So this is the full chart of every level that has occurred, as well as kind of my assumptions, but I want to break down the table from top down, and that way you can see where the logic is coming from. Now, from level 1 to level 75, it costs a total of 5.6 million gold. This averages out to be 75k per level. Next up, I wanted to analyze each of these level increases in increments of 5, just because that's kind of how they got released, and as well, that's when the developers were taking a step back and obviously analyzing, hey, what's the appropriate amount to increase, and so forth. So from level 75 to 80 then, the gold costs about 2.1 million. That's averaging 96k per level now when we factor in those additional 5 levels. When you do the totality of that average, it's about a 21k increase since the last time, right? So 75k from level 1 to level 75, that obviously got increased to 96, giving us a difference of 21. And that's kind of what forms the foundation of my analysis, because I believe strongly that this is what they kind of use as a gauge to determine what is going to be reasonable, what's fair, as opposed to just bloating up a number that doesn't really make sense from the statistics, but as well as the history. So you can see it was actually very, very consistent from level 75 to level 90. That's about 15 levels where essentially it was averaging about 21k to 23k per level, and that was from gear tier 15 to about gear tier 17. Shortly afterwards, there was a pretty notable increase that they wanted to add in, and that's, as you see, from gear tier 17 to 18, which is a 23k bump per level to about 36k. And that's also why, many of us have vocalized the huge gold concerns from level 91 to 95. It's the big reason why many folks stop at level 90, because that is technically the best kind of bang for buck when you're not planning to bring up other gear tier levels. Level 90 is a good safe spot because of the stat increases, but as well, it's not as big of a jump as you can see from 90 as opposed to bringing the character all the way to 95 due to that 4.1 million cost from 91 to 95. So I wanted to analyze this data, take a look at the history, and I've created two kind of separate situations here, where one is conservative, assuming that they're nice to us and they want to be, kind of maintaining the trend that we've been seeing, or I've also created a realistic situation where let's just assume that they're going to continue this kind of parabolic increase that they've been adding from ever since actually gear tier 17. So as you can see, my conservative approach averages out to be 4.9 million in gold for those 5 levels. So that's almost like 1 million gold per level, right? Which is not too bad in my honest opinion when we're talking about beyond these crazy numbers that we're seeing as they add up to that high-end game state for those characters. That averages to be 217k per level, and when we do the analysis side, it is about a 40k increase from the 177, which in my eyes is a very reasonable, it's a very fair increase. Now, whether or not they're going to do that is the other question, but that's also why I wanted to create a realistic scenario here, because assuming they want to maintain the trend that they've set in gear tier 17, then we can use these two numbers now as a range. So my realistic assumption here is the fact that it's going to cost about 6.9 million gold to bring those 5 levels up. That averages to be 237k per level. which is about a 60k increase since the 177 that was instilled at gear tier 18. And the reason I chose 60k, guys, is it's a clean number, but as well, it's almost double what we saw at gear tier 18. Which is actually the same kind of ratio or similar anyways from gear tier 17 18. So this is assuming they use the exact same assumptions when they brought us gear tier 18 with that uptick. And now keep in mind, guys, this is just the level increase. We're not even talking about the actual equipping of the gear and bringing them to gear tier 19 and beyond. This is just levels, so be mindful of the fact that this is likely going to be even higher because we haven't even factored in those pieces and equipping the gear. So in summary, guys, the conservative gold amount seems to be 4.9 million, which is about 1 million per level, and then the realistic situation may possibly be as high as 6.9 million, which is over obviously a million per level, but that gives us a range now of 22 to 24 million gold per character if you were to bring them from level 1 to level 100. So that's what we should be saving, guys, about 22 to 24 million per character if you want to bring them up from scratch all the way to level 100. And again, I like level 90 at gear tier 17 because that seems to be that safe medium choice. That's typically where I would recommend to stop building a character or team if you're not really utilizing them. But again, if you're not using them at all, they shouldn't even be brought up. But if they're in the meta and there's still some value in raids or obviously using some aspects of Cosmic Crucible War, I think gear tier 16 and 17 are likely good fail-safe areas until we see what this is confirmed to be. But yeah, I'm interested to see if my prediction comes true here. I hope you guys enjoyed this preview, but I'll keep you guys up to date once that information comes live, obviously. But yeah, interesting times. You know, these numbers at least aren't like, you know, too crazily double of what we were expecting, but I think they're very reasonable if it's in this range. Hopefully that holds true. Hopefully they continue what we've seen. But again, I'll keep you guys up to date. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.